What's going on, everybody? David here, welcome to another video. Thought it's been a while since I last did one of these videos where I kind of sat back and watched some training footage and critiqued and reflected on predominantly what I am doing in the footage, probably with a special focus on what I'm trying to do and potentially what I'm doing wrong. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is footage from yesterday's training at the Armoury, the Armoury Armwrestling Club here in Perth, Australia, and pulling left arm. Now my left arm's kind of been kind of injured since Nationals last year, and just a lot of tweaks and minor pains that feel like they've robbed me of a few key strengths, and it's finally starting to come back, which is nice, but it still feels pretty bad in all honesty. But I'm glad that it's finally coming back. Hopefully it's all good for states this year. So pulling against Luke Ramponi, who has been pulling for quite some time, and in a lot of these pulls you can, I'm really just trying to stay tight, stay connected, as I'm obviously losing a lot, so just trying to lose in good position and just trying to practice one thing each pull, try and keep my pronation, try and get good side pressure off the go, those kind of things. Trying to take something away from each pull. Pulling against Big Nick in this, very hard to hold on out of straps, so just trying to go inside and control his hand until basically he bails out. We let that go to straps. In these pulls I'm pretty much entirely focused on trying to keep my knuckle high, keep my arm within my shoulder and post back pressure. In some instances it's probably a little easier for me to work on blocking his pronation, grip a bit lower and come inside a bit more, but in these pulls just really trying to keep my rise and my pronation intact, which is a very tough route to go through against Nick, and you can see he's got good shoulder commitment there, and I wasn't quick enough to block it, so I just have to try and adjust my pulling a little bit here, coming a bit more forward, a bit more blocking his pronation and stopping his shoulder from coming forward. Had a bit slippery there, so he came off. Let's see what I'm trying to do here, just more kind of back pressure, trying to get my knuckles higher. I'm still finding that path quite difficult to commit purely to posting top roll. I kind of like to hedge my bets and keep my knuckle a bit lower and low hand top roll. I just feel like my posting isn't quite there, so it always feels quite risky that I'm going to get completely cupped in whenever I go really, really high. Pulling left now. Nick said his left wasn't that crash hot that day, but it felt pretty immovable. To be honest, as you can see, I'm really struggling. I can barely budge him. Just trying to stay tight and pull through my pronation, and yeah, very, very difficult. This feels like almost the only lane that I have on my left really is outside, and even then it doesn't feel very good. But just trying to, at the very least, no matter where I end up, my hand and wrist, just trying to stay as much as possible inside my body. And generally what I'm finding is that I kind of do better flat-handed, kind of a neutral start and then adjust after my opponent gives some indication as to where they're applying most of their pressure, and just try and stop that. Pulling against Metten, he's relatively new. I think just probably still under a year into the sport, very, very strong, but still learning excuse me, how to put his strength together and apply it on the table. And yeah, he's just letting him work, and he's really making me work as I let him get into some of those positions. Trying to cut off his pronation is it's kind of the easier lane, as you can see here, and just rolling through. Even when I'm trying to cut off pronation and go inside, I still find my body doesn't quite have the mind muscle lane there yet, with where my shoulder ends up, how I apply my back pressure and keep my hand relatively safe while going inside. It's just something that I have to drill over and over and over again with. And just remembering to communicate with the people that I'm arm wrestling with and what I'm trying to achieve. Yeah, one of the things that is difficult to do is go outside pressure, top rolling towards the end of a session, I find. Yeah, I find those small muscles have often gassed by the end of it, and it's it's a hard battle to try and get through people's cut later on, but it's also something that I need to constantly work at. Just trying to get through Metten here. Can't quite do it was too strong that day. And I think this kind of last pull, just trying to stay as tight as possible, losing well, which I try to do, because you're going to lose a lot at arm wrestling. Might as well do it well, do it safely, keep tight. And I think these are the last couple of pulls for this session. This is against Josh. He's a young guy, again relatively new to the sport. I don't know exactly how long, maybe a bit over a year. Very, very strong. Probably adjust a few bad technique habits that he's got, like getting separated from his arm, moving away from the table, and he would be able to really amplify a lot of the strength that he's already got. Often with some of the newer guys, they get a bit keen on pinning, and their technique can kind of go out the wall a little bit in the eagerness to get someone to the pad. And I think it's very important to, even when you're pulling someone stronger than you and you can max out, to try and just keep that form as much as possible. So even when I'm trying to hold, I'm trying to think about my shoulder positioning, try and be as energy efficient as possible. That's all I'm really trying to work on here. Now Josh has also got quite a good press, so that's also why I mentioned that if he's able to work on staying tighter, he would have access to that press more often. I think anytime you've got access to a press, the tighter you can stay with all your pulling, it's just going to pay off so much more, because the moment you feel an inch, just as he does there, his shoulder's ready to go to just push forward and press down. Anyway, just some thoughts about training. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching the video. Always welcome any comments. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Cheers, guys.